the river as the street, the way to move, you know. It also goes out of Baton Rouge and is the legendary blues highway. It's mentioned in all the songs, and it was the route north of Chicago for Louisiana and the Mississippi Delta people and everywhere. So the river is definitely affected by the blues and Baton Rouge by both bringing music sounds in, carrying music and musicians out.
I stayed up all night one night, so he went on the river and come back and brought back a new song, but he hear it down there on the river, you know. And he come back there and I said all night trying to play that song, but whenever I hear him play, I wouldn't have it right. Like I wanted. I kept on nagging at him until I finally got it. He said, "Man, you got it now." I said, "Yeah, I got it." One of these days, I'll show you how nice a man can be. If it just feels good word about me. Telephone people ringing, sounds like a long distance call. Telephone keep on ringing, sounds like a long distance call. Bet my last dollar, another man kicking in my soul. Oh yeah. Brother gave me that guitar. He bought him a nut. I was at home, couldn't go nowhere. I just learned at home, listening to him. He taught me, and he gave me that stellar guitar, and I kept that guitar wet out. And he got him a new one. I kept that guitar, and I kept it back, and I break a string. I didn't have now nothing to put on there. I got me a piece of this hay copper wire and tied and put me a pencil across down and kept on playing. It make a poor man wonder, but I ain't got no place to go. You know my house done fell down, and I can't go home no more. I had to find some good woman that gonna love me and treat me right. I got to find some good woman that gonna love me and treat me right. I said a woman I used to love, what happened? That does nothing but cross and fight. I always loved the blues. It's been other fast stuff when I was coming up, but I never did, nothing like that just never moved me. The blues on the thing would put my mind around me, you know, just thinking about something. Well, I think what I think, how it hit me. It was a lady I wanted to see. Well, that's where the blues hit me. That's where it hit me. That's all what it is. Well, it's all over, baby. God, I believe I got to go. Well, it's all over, baby. God, I believe I got to go. I said, when you see me working, because you are hating me.
When you're talking about the older bluesmen, I mean, you're talking about a kind of a shimmering, slipping away, I think, American national resource, a cultural resource, if you want to look at it like that. I mean, to me, they're like the redwood trees. I mean, they're people, and that's the most important thing to remember, but they should be thought of by all Americans, as being as important as the Grand Canyon and redwood trees.
Louisiana legend, Arthur Guitar Kelly, and we want to sit down and we want to talk a little bit with him because The bluesmen of today are getting far and few in between, and we want to get all the history we can while we can get it.
Yeah.
And I can remember the first time I ever saw you was sitting down at the stage at Tabby's Blues Box in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I walked in and there was that deep voice, there was that unique guitar, and when I heard that, I said, no, that's a blues man. Don't bring me no pretty people, you know. Bring me somebody that can bring it from the heart, and that's Arthur Guitar Kelly. Attracted you to the blues. How did you get started on that?
My brother-in-law was courting my sister. And you know, he had blues, and he taught me how to play them blues. And I'd come out the field, and get my guitar. I never did put my guitar down. I never did put it down for nothing else.
Uh-huh.
Come out the field and get on my guitar. I laid it flat on my back and played in the bed and play the guitar. Yeah, I would do that.
Where was this?
Huh?
Where was this?
That in Clinton.
In Clinton, Mississippi?
Clinton, Louisiana.
Clinton, Louisiana.
Yeah.
When you say in the fields, what crops were you working? What crops were you working? Were you working cotton or sugar cane?
Cotton and corn too. Cotton and corn too.
Well, now corn I can do with, but cotton.
Yeah, cotton. I know that I couldn't hardly pick no cotton myself. So I stayed way back behind trying to keep up.
Well, how did you get your first guitar?
Huh?
How did you get your first guitar?
My brother-in-law gave it to me.
Uh-huh.
It was a Stella guitar.
Stella guitar.
Yeah. He gave it to me and told me he'd get him another. And he got him another, a red guitar. And he gave me that, and that's how I learned all.
Well, you know, one thing that's been a very distinguishing factor about your music has been the way you tune a guitar. When a lot of people hear your sound and they try to get your sound, they can't get there.
No, just like you telling me, a white fellow over there at Tabby, he told me, I like your sound and your guitar and your sing, but we just can't get your sing. Well, see, I tune with my voice.
You tune with your voice?
Your voice. When I was singing, I was tuned with my voice. Get on up, and I had another. They call that a Hawaiian tune. I tuned up the little E string with the big E string up this way, like this here, going up this way, It had a sound. I was playing that guitar going home one night, and my brother said he sang too, and he was singing that song too. I said, what singing too? And the fellow who was playing with me, he said, my brother-in-law told me, you got it, man. Go ahead on, you got it. You got it, man. Go ahead on. But you got it.
Well, how old were you when you figured out you could sing?
When I think about how I could sing.
Uh-huh.
I was singing when I was young.
Did you always have that deep voice?
Yeah.
God was good to you when he gave you that voice, wasn't he?
Yeah.
that kept you a little bit higher than a lot of other people.
That's right. A whole lot of people that tune the guitar, they don't try to tune with their voice, they tune with somebody else, but you can't tune no guitar with nobody else. Song, you got to make your own song and tune your voice to it. You got to make your own song. That's the way I did it too.
You know, that's one thing that a lot of people have said over the years, that Guitar Kelly is authentic. He's not a copy. you have taken your authentic sound and you've made it you.
Yeah.
Anybody else tries to copy you, they're just a copy. You know, you're the original. You're the original. Has anybody ever tried to get you to tune different or to sing different?
Yeah, they just tried to get me too, but I just kept my same gait. Tune, I just kept it. But I play something else, but I could play something else, but I could play something else, but I just kept my same voice thing. Like, just kept it.
Yeah.
Just kept it. Didn't try to change my voice, nothing.
Well, I notice that a lot of days, you know, a lot of musicians, they don't seem to know their own identity. They spend so much time trying to be someone else.
Someone else, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's someone else. Now, you can't be nobody else. It's yourself. You can't be nobody else.
I tell the story when I was first trying to play harp, which I'm still trying to play harp, but I came off stage one time and you told me, you said, I really like what you do. You really know how to play a harp. And
Yeah.
I said, no, sir, I just play harp until the harp player comes.
Yeah, right.
And you took me by the sleeve and you pulled me down and you said, you play the way you play. If you try to copy somebody else, you'll never be an original. What you do is good enough for
That's
you.
right, that's right, that's right.
I think that's good advice for a lot of people.
That's right. I told a boy, a young fella coming there to Tabby, I told him, just like you playing now, people don't like the way you play, but you just keep on doing what you're doing. Somebody gonna like it.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna like it.
Well, how did you first start playing for other people? I know that your family recognized that you could play first and you could sing first.
Yeah,
But
well,
how did it start where you started playing for other people?
other people, I just started out, name, I play for country stuff, all like that.
Mm-hmm.
Play for country stuff, I started out all the way around, just played on up to now. Up to now. Now, that's how I got by. I just played on up to now. I didn't try to, they wasn't paying much money like they is now, but I still play.
Yeah.
I still play. And they asked me to play for a separate, but I said, he said, you ain't studying by no, I don't believe you studied by no lady. They say I'm mean. I said, I wasn't mean nothing, but that was my way.
Yeah.
That was my way of doing things like that.
You know, I had a conversation with you one time that made a big impression on me, and I'm going to bring that conversation back to you because you talk to a lot of people and you may not remember everything everybody says to you.
Right, that's right.
But you told me one time, you said, you know, the only real blues is the blues that a woman can
That's
call
right. They wrote that in a paper. They wrote that in a paper. The blues, the woman's calling me Magnum Blues. That's right, that's right. And a man come in there to the field grader down here. He come in there, he said, I want to hear that name. You say you can't get along with him, you can't do the dial. A white fella come in there and he say, you can't get along with him, you can't do the dial.
Well, you know, if you stop and think about it, if you lose your job, you can get another job. If you lose your car, you can buy another car. But when a woman hurts you, you know, or a man hurts you, you know, true love is what hurts you.
What hurts you?
Yeah, it does.
Because true love is something money can never buy. Days after days, you will walk and cry. That's true love too.
When you, so by about 1940, you were like 20 years old, and we'd just come out of the Depression, and the war was going on. There was a lot of material for blues then, weren't there?
It was.
When you started trying to find songs, where did you go to try to find songs to sing? Who did you try to get music from?
Get music from. I tried to get music from. Like I hear someone play. I tried to get music from Lightning Hopkins too, and Lightning Slim too. I tried to get music from them.
Lightning Slim's one of my favorite all-time people.
Yeah. That's when I could play and sing too.
You knew Lightning Slim?
Yeah, I know him, man. I know him.
Is he a good man?
Sure was too. He died a while back.
He had another one of those good voices.
Sure did.
You know what? I don't know whether it's true or not, but a friend of mine named McKinley Smokehouse Porter told me that there wasn't a bluesman alive that was worth his salt that didn't sing in E. Is that true?
In E?
Yeah.
E natural, huh?
E natural.
Well, that's true. That's with me now. That's true with me. With me, man. That's true with me.
You're not gonna make you're not gonna let me back you in too big a corner, are you?
That's me. I don't let nobody else see. I take somebody else's song, put it my way.
Yeah.
And singing the blues too. I sang the blues too.
What's your favorite, if you had to pick some of the most favorite songs that you've ever sang and played, what would come to the top of your mind? What's some of the ones that you just really stick in your mind?
Yeah, well, I tell you, now I see, when the book was read about it, I was thinking about it. Hard about a woman, thinking hard about a woman. That it caused me to make them blues like I made. I think hard about a woman. That's right. That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I kept on with that. They had, they say, the paper read that I played, and say the people they still would get to sweating and get funky. And then the paper I was reading, and they said, had on paper. They still would dance too. They dance. They ought to hit that top string. They still would dance too.
You know, you used to have a little showmanship in you too.
Huh?
You used to have a little showmanship in you. I remember somebody telling me that Guitar Kelly would get his guitar and he'd point it out at the audience like a gunslinger.
That's right. I sure did.
Did you do that?
I did do that. I hold that
What would
guitar.
you do?
I hold that guitar and out there like a pun at somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did too, and I throw it behind my back and play too, and I walk off the stage and I'd be still playing my guitar back behind my back too.
You know, that's something that a lot of people didn't think happened until maybe 20 years ago.
That's right.
You've been doing that show a long time, huh?
I sure had a long time too.
That drive the audiences wild when they see you do that?
Yeah. Now the people from LSU will come up there to Tabby's. They say, I come to hear this man play a guitar. I want to hear him play. I want to hear him play. I want him to throw that guitar behind his neck and throw it behind him and play the guitar. We come up here to hear him play. And so I played too. I did just like they say.
Well, I know one thing, that when you walk in and you saw Guitar Kelly on stage, Kelly was watching who was out in the audience too.
Yeah.
You connected real well with the audience. I think that's what kind of made you unique. A lot of players, you know, they just play their own music and they don't pay the audience any mind.
Don't pay no audience any mind. That's right. And I say now, I told that boy, well, what he's doing, well, he'll do a lot of clown You see, he do a lot of clowns. I say, what you doing? You go for a minister show. For a minister show. Not for no blues. Like you play. I say, but don't you let nobody tell you how to play your guitar. You just play your guitar like you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, play your guitar like you want to play.
Well, I know you played a Fender Mustang.
Huh?
You played a Fender Mustang, didn't you?
Yeah, I play that. My guitar at home now, where I made my record from. At home, over there, over on 35th.
Uh-huh.
I put it down, and I got another big old guitar. A fella supposed to told me to bring it up. Yeah, he could get that guitar so I could play it. And you know, I ain't played that guitar since my sister and niece bought it from me. I had played it. I went out there to St. Gable to play it, and I had to get another fella to sing, and I played it. The people all wanted me back sing. I said, well, I can't make it tonight. But I can't make it tonight. I just tell them I couldn't make it tonight. I couldn't make it. Well, there wasn't no meanings in me, but I just couldn't make it that night. I amplify. I got to cut it down to a deep sound, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You cut it down to a deep sound, and you turn it up to a key sound too.
Uh-huh.
That's what I played. And the drummer I had, I was working on the camp. I was going to the dump up there, and I found a drum, and I made a drum.
A drum?
A drum. And I found it, and I made that. It was a good push drum. I found it up there on the drum.
Uh-huh.
I made it. I went to playing with it too. I sit down and I be playing my drum, pat my foot and play with some of my records. I play with some of my records I had made.
Well, tell me, how good a drummer are you?
I can drum, but I couldn't drum like somebody drum. But you know what a blues don't. A blues, they got a sound for the blues too.
Yeah.
They got a sound for the blues too. They don't take anything to make no blues. You don't take anything to make no blues, because the blues is something hard to do.
Yeah. I think you're right on that. I think you're right on that. Some people make it a lot more complicated than what it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's what makes your sound unique, yourself. I tell you what, I've got a friend of mine here that I want to bring in, sit in here and talk to you for a minute.
Yeah.
Mr. McKinley Smokehouse Porter.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna let you and Smokehouse.
Good being here with my man Kelly. Kelly's been just like a father to me. I learned a lot from Kelly and a lot from a lot of other guys. I can remember back in the old days when Kelly and Silas and Jimmy Vaughn. I learned a lot from Kelly in those days back at the Brick House Lounge when it was you, Silas, and Jimmy Vaughn, and I was just trying to learn to play, and I just learned an awful lot from Kelly. I mean, I just learned an awful lot because the way Kelly would play, I can remember Kelly used to tell me all the time that when he played, he didn't necessarily need a bass player.
That's right.
All he needed was a drummer, because when he played and he carried that bass line, the rhythm, and the lead all at the same time.
Right, that's sure did.
And so I kind of learned from the old school because Kelly taught it to me. So when they don't have a bass player, I know how to carry that bass line, play that rhythm, and play that lead all at the same time.
That's right. Tabby said he couldn't play. He had to have a bass I said, well, he said, yeah, you can play, but I can't play.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
Sammy told me. He couldn't play that bass.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of young guitar players now, they kind of lost without a bass player. But guys like Lightning Slim and Guitar Kelly, back at that time, bass players were far and few, and so Kelly just learned to play without a bass player. All he needs is somebody to keep that beat,
That's right.
and he kind of passed that on to me, so I can play my guitar, and I don't really need that bass player there. It's good to have one, but if I had to play without one, I could do it.
Do it, right.
Les had talked to you a few minutes ago about that show that you put on. I was telling Les one night that when you would play, your style was basically sitting down, and you'd be sitting down playing, and then all of a sudden you stand up and you drop that guitar down by your side, and the audience would just go crazy, because what Kelly would do, he'd be sitting down playing, and then all of a sudden he'd just stand up and he'd walk out to that audience, he'd drop that guitar down by his side, and he'd hit that little E string, that big E, and he'd pick somebody in the audience, and you just boom. And I mean, the people just go crazy. They would just go crazy. They just love what Guitar Kelly was doing.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And I guess coupled with that very unique voice and that
man come from LSU. He said he used to come at Tabby, hear me play. Yeah, that's why he said he had to come to LSU. He was going to LSU school too. Just to hear me play.
They had people come from all over the world just to hear Kelly play.
Man come there. He ain't been back since Tabby wouldn't let me take a picture of him. He asked you why he ain't let you take no picture with me. I said, well, it's on him, because it wasn't on me. It's on him. I said, it's on Tabby. He didn't want me to take no picture with that man. He asked me why. He said he wouldn't take no skin off his back.
Well, I tell you what, when you talking about the blues, you talking about Guitar Kelly, Lightning Slim, Silas Hogan, people like that. Kelly, you know what? Les brought me, I asked you about a guy maybe about a year ago, a guy named Anthony Thompson. He goes by the name of Pack Rat. Now, Pack Rat. Les bought me an album cover of this guy, and on that album cover, he says that he was inspired by you, Lightning Slim, and Lazy Lester. Now, remember, I don't know if you remember, but I had asked you if you remembered this guy. But I meant to bring that album cover because on there he's got your name on his album cover, that he was inspired by you, Lightning Slim, and Lazy Lester.
Who you say it was?
His name is Anthony Thompson. He's a real good blues player, real talented artist. He's a harmonica player and guitar player. So he just gives you a lot of credit. Yeah. So even if you don't know him, he was really inspired by the way you played. And you got a lot of guys out there, a lot of young guys out there now that's really inspired, has been inspired the way you play. You know, that old blues style, that Delta style, and that kind of style will never perish. It'll be here forever. It'll be here forever.
That man told me, he said, I may die, but my record was blues I played it would never die.
Yeah.
It would never die.
It was something that you used to. Anyway, one of the unique things about Kelly, to me, and I think it's unique, is the fact that Kelly never drank and Kelly never smoked. And the reason why I say that's unique is because in this time and age, most musicians, most people, at least a lot of people, associate musicians with alcohol, drugs, and a lot of illegal activity. And Kelly is just a real good role model for all young musicians, because Kelly never drank, he never smoked, and I never heard Kelly curse. I never heard him curse. So I think that's really, really remarkable. And I tell you what, I would just love to follow in his footsteps. I don't drink, and I don't smoke, But every now and then I do curse. I don't curse around Kelly though. I don't curse around Kelly though. No. But I just learned a lot from Kelly. I can remember the times when I was learning to play guitar, and nobody wants to be associated with anybody that can't play. And Kelly would bring me on stage with him, and I'd sit there and wasn't really playing anything, but I was faking like the devil. And I can remember many times me and Kelly, when Kelly was staying on, was it 35th Street, Kelly?
Huh?
When you're staying on 35th?
Yeah.
And Eden, is that Eden Park? That's not Eden Park. Yeah, Eden Park.
Yeah. And that's the Greek house too.
Yeah. I used to go by Kelly's house, and Kelly would just sit down with me, and he'd just drill me on that guitar, and drill me and show me bass lines, and he just really worked with me. And like I say, he just really encouraged me. I didn't know that much about a guitar, and Kelly just brought me into the blues. He really just brought me into the blues. He just take his time with me. And I'm not talking about 10 or 15 minutes. Me and Kelly used to put in a lot of hours just sitting down playing around on the guitar. And he'd tell me bring my tape, and he'd put stuff on tape for me to practice, and I'd sit there, and when I was doing it wrong, he'd say, well, look, Mac, you need to do it like this, and I'd play the tape back, and I'd play the tape back, and I'd hear it. And
You need to talk about playing in notes in your head.
That's what it is. It's in your heart.
That's right.
It's in your heart.
Yeah.
It's in your heart.
That's right.
Yeah. So in the music world, and this is only my opinion, I just think it's a lot of jealousy in the music world. If guys that can play real well, they kind of reluctant about helping newcomers out, because first thing they figure is that guy might outplay them.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And just trying to get people to show you something in the music world, it's been my experience, it's just hard to do. And that's one thing I can say about Kelly. Guys will come up to Kelly all the time and ask Kelly to show him this and show him that, and he never had a problem doing it. Never had a problem doing it. Right, Kelly?
That's right.
Just never had a problem doing it.
Kelly, is that guitar tuned up there? Has he tuned that guitar up right? Has he tuned that guitar up right?
Is it tuned, Kelly?
Yeah, it's tuned.
See what Kelly's doing that night, hitting that bass string, that lily. It was just a show that you couldn't believe, man. When Kelly would get up, he'd stand up and he'd throw that guitar down to the side, and have mercy, it was on. It was on. What you think? You think it's tuned?
It's tuned. Yeah.
I can see old Kelly still got that good ear. One of those Gibsons.
Yeah.
You like playing the Gibson?
I tell you how what I play with a family guitar.
Yeah, for me, a Gibson, I know a lot of guys swear by those Gibsons, but I'd rather Fender. For me, a Fender is just a whole lot better.
I tell you, a family guitar, see, I made my record. On the record, I could take that guitar and beat and play.
That's that Big E.
You don't know how much these slang How much each strings an ounce too.
I think I can remember. I think you was telling me at one time. You remember the time when you only had one string on the guitar?
That's right. Sure, I remember. I remember.
And if you tell that to people now, get a guy now to play with one string, he think you're crazy, you know?
Yeah, he think you're crazy now. But I sure did. I sure did. I sure did. And then take this in here, string here. Now because I was trying to think I called my baby back. Called my baby back.
Yeah, it was a song you used to do, Kelly. I be listening to Lightning Slim, a Tomcat.
Yeah.
About a Tomcat. I love that song. Every time I hear Lightning do that song, I think about the way Kelly used to do it.
I know Slim Papa walked in there somewhere out playing. He told Big Bro Melvin, see, he ain't got but a drummer. You know, he making all the music people want.
That's all it takes. When you're good, that's all it takes.
Right.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Going down in New Orleans and getting them mojo hands.
Yeah.
I'm going to show all you women how to treat your man. Daddy tried to get me to show him that. I didn't show him that because he knows so much. Because he don't take no string like I do. So that he couldn't do that. He couldn't do that.
Guitar Kelly. That works.
Yeah, boy. See, I've been playing with him. I was chap. I've been playing guitar.
Was your brother-in-law pretty good, Kelly?
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
And the man used to play a guitar by notes, and the people used to rather hear him play here and the note. The man used to play the notes. He want to play little notes. He said, play like you play.
Yeah.
That he said, shake, baby, gonna buy you a diamond ring. If you don't shake, baby, ain't gonna buy you a doggone thing. Yeah, that's what he said. He said, shake, baby. And you know that them people be out there shaking, too.
They be shaking.
Yeah, I'm shaking. I know them songs now. Shake, baby, why you beat it dress. If you don't shake, baby, you gonna wear gingham like the rest.
It was a song you used to do about gonna get the train and go. What was the name of that song? It was a song you used to do, and then it was about I'm gonna get that train and go. I can't remember the name of that song, Kelly.
Yeah, I've done so many, but that's what I can't teach you. I can't. I'll tune this thing. See that thing?
I remember Kelly used to try to teach me to tune that guitar without that tune. I didn't do it. No, I couldn't do it. No.
Man, you ain't got to have no tune.
Yeah, that's what Kelly used to tell me all the time. Man, you don't need that tune.
I told her, I said, you ain't got to have no tune. Tune with your ears. You listen to the guitar and tell it in tune. Yeah, you ain't got to have no tune to get your tune, because tune can be wrong like you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I had Kenny Ray Neal trying to show me that tune. I said, man, I don't need that. He tuned his guitar with tune. I said, I had to tune that guitar all over again. I had to tune it all over. I said, you ain't got to have no tuning.
Guitar, Kelly.
Yeah, that's my name.
Is that Ray Charles? Yeah. Baby, what I say?
Yeah,
Baby, what I say? Yeah. You know, we were talking about that song, Tin Pan Alley.
Yeah.
Now, remember that song, Kelly?
Hmm?
You remember that song, Tin Pan Alley?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Kelly used to do that song. And matter of fact, he had showed me how to do that song a long time ago. Yeah, you remember that bass line, Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Because he used to show me to play that bass line for when he would do that song. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good song. They tell me Tin Pan Alley
King Alley.
was the roughest place in town.
He could play the piano. I know a fellow was up there in Clinton. He could play it. He tried to play it. But he said Henry Gray would jump the notes on the piano. Wouldn't play it. Wouldn't play it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I know
if he
what
start
you're
off the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. The Henry Gray get you drinking. He said, I'm on. If you don't get me something to drink, I'm gonna mess y'all up. I said, you gonna mess up, and I said, you gonna mess up, and I ain't gonna get you nothing to drink, cause you gonna mess up, and I did tell him that. I told him.
You gonna mess up anyhow.
Yeah, you gonna mess up, and
It's Kelly. Yeah, that's what he was man. Yeah, he's been around a long time, Kelly. A lot of people around the lot from you. A lot of people around the lot from you. I know, man, me and Kelly used to sit out in his yard when he was staying over there on Convention Street. We'd sit out there in the evening time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember you telling me about that, and sometimes Lazy Lester would come by.
Yeah, remember Lazy Lester would come over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lazy Lester come up there. When I was playing for Miss King, too, he'd come over there.
Every time he was in town, and Kelly was staying over there on Convention Street, he'd come over.
He's starting another career again.
After I get off from work, if I ain't too tired, we gonna run over by Tabitha then. Wednesday night. Yeah. You wanna go, huh?
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
You see, I used to go all the time. These play all around San Francisco and all around. Play around San Francisco. Yeah.
He used to do a big thing with Miss King.